In a certain kingdom in ancient Italia, a powerful king named Lucius had married many wives, but none of them had borne him a male heir. In his frustration, he hurled cruel insults at one of his wives, calling her barren and cursed. Because of this, he banished her and built her a small hut beside the rubbish heap outside the palace walls. One day, King Lucius traveled to the sacred oracle at Delphi to learn why the gods denied him a son. There Apollo spoke through the Pythia and revealed that the cause lay with Lucius's own father, who had wronged many poor families and seized their lands unjustly. The god warned that obtaining a son would be difficult. First, Lucius must return every acre of land and every possession to the orphaned children of those his father had ruined. Only after making full restitution could he hope for an heir. The oracle also instructed him to summon a young priest from Delphi to prepare a sacred potion called the Elixir of Fate, and to reveal the final rite needed to gain the desired son. Without delay, Lucius summoned the young priest before departing. When he returned home, Lucius labored tirelessly to restore all the seized lands and goods to the poor orphans. Once this was done, the priest from Delphi prepared the elixir of fate for him. As he poured the libation and read the omens, the priest told Lucius that one final act remained. He must pluck the sacred golden apple from the ancient tree guarded by the spirit Janus, then divide every fruit upon it among all his wives, so they might eat. The priest swore that among those apples was one blessed by the gods. Whichever woman consumed it would bear Lucius the son he longed for. He warned sternly that no woman outside his wives must ever taste that fruit. For this reason, Lucius resolved in his heart never to give a single apple to the wife he had insulted and banished. He could not bear the thought that she might bear his heir. So when Lucius gathered the golden apples from the tree of Janus, he personally distributed them among his favored wives, but gave none to the banished one. He declared it would be an abomination if the woman he had cursed became mother to his firstborn son. He also strictly commanded the other wives never to share their portions with her. When the chief wife returned to her chambers, she noticed one apple that was strangely long and thin. She tossed it out the window, saying it was deformed and worthless. Unknown to her, while the palace kitchens bustled, a rat from the rubbish heap scurried out, seized the discarded apple, and carried it to its friend, the banished wife who lived beside the heap. Thus she alone ate the one apple blessed by the gods. Soon afterward, when all the other wives grew great with child, it was discovered that the banished wife was also pregnant. The others mocked her cruelly, saying she carried only a stone in her womb. Gossip spread through the kingdom, for everyone believed she had not tasted the sacred fruit. Just before the time of birth, King Lucius commanded his most trusted servant, any daughter born that day must be cast into the Tiber, while any son must be brought straight to him. On the morning of the deliveries, the favored wives went early to the riverbank, an ancient custom for Roman matrons, and there they labored. As fate would have it, every one of them bore only daughters, and all were thrown into the rushing Tiber as the king had ordered. At last, the banished wife, in secret and in terrible pain, crept to the same riverbank and gave birth to a radiant, beautiful baby boy. When the king's servant saw this, rage consumed him. He shoved both mother and child into the river. Exhausted from childbirth, she had no strength to fight the current, and the waters swept them away. The river bore them downstream until they came to the place where an old washerwoman named Claudia was preparing broad beans by the bank. Filled with pity, she drew them from the water and carried them to her humble cottage. There she nursed the mother back to health. Once recovered, the mother reluctantly left her son in Claudia's care and returned to her hut by the palace rubbish heap. As the boy grew, he became extraordinarily handsome and strong. The old woman named him Aurelius, meaning the Golden One, or Prince of Light. In time he learned he was not truly Claudia's child, but had been saved from the Tiber after the king's servant cast him and his mother in. Each day when Claudia went to market, she left food for him, yet every afternoon the king's great hound, the same dog that had stood on the riverbank the day he was thrown in, would find the boy and lick his face affectionately. Whenever the hound came and licked him, the boy would weep and sing a mournful song. "The king's hound licks me, oh, oh, the king's hound licks me, oh, oh, nya, nyako," my father the king commanded. "If she bears a son, bring him to me. If she bears a daughter, cast her away." The furious servant of the king took me at birth and hurled me in the furious servant of the king. Unseen, a winemaker named Marcus, high in an olive tree tapping the vines, heard every word. When the servant returned and falsely reported that no son had been born, King Lucius fell into despair. He prepared his own tomb within the palace, awaiting death. Thus he was overjoyed when one evening the winemaker Marcus came to the palace and revealed what he heard each day among the olive trees. The next day Lucius went with him and hidden, heard with his own ears the boy sing the same lament. Returning at once, Lucius had his treacherous servant thrown into chains. He then summoned old Claudia, thanked her with rich gifts, and begged to know the boy's mother. But Claudia answered, "This much I will tell you, the boy is truly your son. Yet I will not name his mother. If I did, you would not believe me. That truth you must discover yourself." When the news spread, all the favored wives claimed the beautiful boy as their own. So a great feast was proclaimed. On that day, the boy would walk among the women, and whichever cooked dish he ate from would reveal his true mother. The favored wives prepared sumptuous banquets of roasted peacock, honeyed dormice, and garum-spiced delicacies, and adorned themselves in silk and gold. On the appointed day they appeared radiant in the palace atrium, while the banished wife remained filthy and ragged beside the rubbish heap. When Aurelius was led into the courtyard, a flute player walked before the musicians, piping and singing, "Aurelius, Aurelius, golden youth Aurelius, Aurelius, golden youth Aurelius. Your mother sits at the rubbish heap eating. O Aurelius, your mother dwells beside the refuse. O Aurelius, Aurelius, golden youth, son of a king, golden youth." At these words, the boy understood. He passed by every glittering wife and refused their rich dishes. When he came to the rubbish heap, the flute player sang again. "Aurelius, Aurelius, golden youth Aurelius, Aurelius, golden youth Aurelius, your mother sits at the rubbish heap eating. O Aurelius, your mother dwells beside the refuse. O Aurelius, Aurelius, golden youth, son of a king, golden youth." To the astonishment of all, Aurelius ran to the ragged woman, threw his arms around her, called her mother, and ate eagerly from her simple bowl of beans and coarse bread. The truth stood revealed. King Lucius immediately ordered the woman brought forth. Servants bathed her with scented water, dressed her in royal purple and gold, and led her and her son into the heart of the palace. From that day forward, she sat at the king's right hand and ruled over all household and kingdom matters. The once favored wives now followed behind her. Moral of the story. Such tales teach that one must never despair of the gods' justice, nor presume to challenge fate. They also show that fortune's wheel ever turns. The Romans believed no human condition is permanent. Today's misery may become tomorrow's triumph. Therefore act always with the future in mind, for as the proverb says, "The wood you gather in youth is what warms you in old age." If you wish to hear more of our stores, subscribe and share.